All right, folks, so we just need to recap this breaking news that literally happened while we were talking to the president's trade advisor, Peter Navarro, and that is that the U.S. Appeals Court has basically reinstated, and this was lightning flash quick, because this was a ruling that the U.S. International Trade Court had slapped on President Trump, saying no more tariffs until this thing is worked out. So at the moment, we have an appeals court saying reinstate the Trump tariffs until we get through the appeals process. So for the moment, the tariffs are back in. Now, just to review, the U.S. trade courts moved to block the tariffs last night. So if you look at the S&P 500, we've been in and out of negative territory, and it's been a choppy day of trade because everybody knew that this process could take a long time. The duties, though, on autos, steel, and aluminum, no matter what happens, stay in place. So speaking of autos, joining me now in a Fox Business exclusive in pretty much her first interview since this whole international court ruling and the appeals court ruling just came down is Mary Barra, General Motors CEO. Great to have you here.
Oh, it's great to be here, Liz. Thanks so much.
Let me just get your gut reaction to the appeals court now saying that the tariffs, all of them, stay in.
Well, you know, from an auto perspective, the 232 were always in place. We're looking at it carefully, but we knew there was going to be more change. And so, you know, there's going to be a period where this all gets worked out. You know, there's still more deals to do. So we're waiting for that. But there's certain moves that we're already making to strengthen our North America manufacturing because we can do that with the clarity we already have.
Are you disappointed that either way the auto tariffs stay in? I would be if I were the CEO, because I know that a lot of the parts, or at least some of them, depending on the car, come from overseas.
Well, there are some parts that are only made, but we're, you know, for the last 5 years, we've been working to have more parts in this country. In fact, we increased our U.S. content for the vehicles we make here by 27% in the last 5 years. And the content that we get from China for direct parts is less than 3%. So we already were on a process to have more resiliency in this country. And we're just going to continue on that as we move forward.
Well, again, you've got Canada and Mexico as part of this massive global supply chain.
Right.
You had said that General Motors would take a $4 to $5 billion hit. I believe that's full year 2025?
Well, that was for 2025, but that was the gross impact when we said with tariffs. And now we're working to offset them by making changes, leveraging some excess capacity that we have in this country. Just yesterday, we announced that we are going to be building the next generation internal combustion engine or gas engine for full-size trucks in upstate New York. So we're investing in this country, and we're making those decisions as we go.
And that's a more than $800 million investment, right?
Yes, just under $900 million, the most significant engine investment we've made in history.
Okay, that's a V8. Those are big gas guzzlers.
They are. But the reason we're investing in new technology is because it's going to be higher performance and better fuel efficiency and better for the environment.
Okay, but wasn't that a plant that was supposed to be up in Buffalo for EV?
Well, we've been continuing to look, and we're guided by where the consumer is. And, you know, we started to look a while ago saying we can't get the regulations out in front of where the customer is. What we're about is offering customers choice. And so we have great internal combustion engine or gas vehicles. We have great EV vehicles. So we're meeting the customer in the marketplace where they are.
Okay, let's first tackle the V8. This is the new Escalade.
This is the new Escalade in deep sea metallic. I just love this color. I think it's beautiful. So let's take a look.
Yeah, please do. Show me inside, and what's special about this?
Well, one of the cool things when you first look at it is this pillar-to-pillar screen. 55-inch screen that you know you can.
Oh, you're on Fox Business.
We're
Channel 113, everybody.
There you go. There you go. Another super cool thing is the cooler. I mean, when I had young kids, I would have loved this. Imagine being able to throw that milk that you want to have them drink with their lunch and feel it. It's pretty cold.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a refrigerator mode and a freeze mode. So this is just one of the cool things that we have in the vehicle.
Starting price $89,900.
It's starting in this model. This is a very premium up level, is about $125.
Some of the parts in this car come from elsewhere, correct?
Some of them do. But we continue to work, you know, overall from a USMCA compliant or North America, we're around 80% of our products and all of our vehicles. Now this product is built in Texas. And so we are very proud that we have this vehicle built in Texas, and also about 80% of our parts are USMCA compliant. And as I said, we've been increasing and will continue to increase our U.S. content.
Over here,
Yes.
you have the Sierra EV Denali. This is something else. Now, tell me about this one. You feel a demand for this even at the price of what, $89,000?
We do, and this vehicle starts under 70. Again, this is a model, but here's one of the cool features that we have. If you just push this button right there, and my nails, there we go. It's what we call the Frunk. It's our front storage. So think about when you have a pickup truck, you don't always have a place where you can lock things. This vehicle, you can lock it in. That happens to be the charging connector. But imagine being able to lock things in and use this space because it's an EV, so there's no engine here. And then if we go around back,
Let's go.
again, this is thunderstorm metallic. We can just peek in here for a minute. If you look at the interior, you can see again a very unique. This is a GMC product, professional grade. Look at the screens that they have, and the ability to control your heating and cooling right from your fingertips. Everything is designed with the customer in mind. But one of the cool things on this vehicle is the fact that there's power, and this vehicle is not running. But imagine you're at a tailgate, or you need to power something at a campsite, or if you've lost power in your house. We've had people that have worked with our GM Energy products, and literally when they lost power due to a thunderstorm or to a snowstorm, were able to power their home and keep their family warm. So when we look at this from where's the switch on here? There you go. So again, this is that easy, and you can see plugging into an outlet right there. So we think this is a really important feature and one of the benefits of EVs.
You know, I'm constantly, as I look at this car, thinking about what we hear from not the anti-EV crowd, but the people who are trying to say there shouldn't be any tax incentives, there shouldn't,
There you go.
Yes, I have the wind in my hair. But what is the true demand? Because I believe year over year, in the most recent quarter, you saw a big jump of something like 94% in EV demand.
We are seeing, and that's in an industry where overall EV demand is leveled off and maybe starting to go down a little bit. But we are growing from last year to this year, again, a 94%. And right now that, I think we have such a customer-focused portfolio of gas-powered vehicles or electric vehicles. We're growing both. So we have vehicles people really want to buy.
Check all the boxes. You want the people who love internal combustion to still have that option.
Exactly.
And then the EVs. So when you look at the unions are happy with the tariffs because they have felt in the past that foreign companies and foreign auto parts makers are really gutting what's happening here in the United States. Do you side with the unions on that issue?
Well, I think it's very important that we have a strong manufacturing base in this country. I grew up in manufacturing. My first job was in an assembly plant. So I think it's really important that we know how to make things in this country. Then you think about what the auto industry did. We really created and grew the middle class. And when you also think about what we do here and what the vehicle is becoming, I think having a strong manufacturing base, the jobs here, and also making sure we control and innovate and win in the technology race is going to be very important. Because these vehicles, I think, are also important from a national defense perspective.
So when we talk about checking all the boxes,
yes,
hybrids, tell me about your hybrid sales. We haven't heard about that lately, but I believe it was several months ago where people said, yeah, people are actually more interested in getting hybrids. What are your sales for hybrids looking like?
So we have hybrids and we have more planned, but we're doing them the segments make sense because when we have such great EVs and such great ICE vehicles that people want to buy, or I should say gas powered, that people want to buy, and this is really important for the end game and all the features that you have. So I think we're going to have the right hybrids to meet the customer, but I think when they get familiar and understand if they want an ICE or an EV, why go to something where you have two propulsion systems? So we think this is a better option, and when you have over 400 miles of range, I think you're getting everything you need.
We should put up an intraday chart if we don't already have it up. General Motors is at a session high right now. You're saying things that the market likes. we are a market-oriented show. We have a lot of very motivated investors watching us right now. So let me get your message to them about what you'd say to President Trump about the auto tariffs longer term.
Well, you know, this is where I think the president and I are aligned, because we do believe that we need to have strong manufacturing, and frankly, we need to level the playing field. From a U.S. perspective, when we look globally, there's been tariffs and non-tariff trade barriers, and so making sure that we can not only build cars for this market for U.S. citizens, but also we can have jobs here that allow, and we can be exporting to other markets, I think is very important. So tariffs are one tool to help us enable that and level the playing field. And by the fact that we have these vehicles, and we're seeing growth from a customer perspective, share growth in both our gas-powered and our EVs, I think we're well positioned to win not only in the U.S., where we sell more cars than anyone else, and have more employees than anyone else. We're set up to win globally as well.
Great to see you. And I understand the stock is continuing to climb as you keep talking. I wish you could stay here for your investors
thank
the
you,
whole
thank
time.
you.
But thank you very much. I'm loving the freezer and the refrigerator in the Escalade. OMG, that's pretty cool. Good luck to you. Thank you.